All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome back. I'm glad you could make it. Happy Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. This is another episode of 17 and some change. I'm AccuDesk17, here to give you my 2 cents. I'm a little bit under the weather today. I was trying specifically not to use that phrase. Um, I am currently battling influenza. Um, so just kind of bear with on that. Um, today we have various topics that we're going to be covering. Uh, we have about like 7, 8 topics. And so there's no Q&A, there's no deep dive on one particular topic. It's gonna be more of a situation where I'm going over some of the more prevalent things, or a few highly prevalent and moderately prevalent news stories, and the first one is the least prevalent, but none of these things here, minus the business update at the end, have anything to do with me personally. This is all stuff that's happening in the world. So the first thing I wanted to kind of talk about was this song called "I'm Still Able," and it's created by a dude, lilmanJ, um, and his name is kind of inaccurate, but he uh, he has this song. He dropped this song. It's called "I'm Still Able." They say I'm disabled, but I'm still able to live a life wish you had. Na, 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 na. Um, I had mixed feelings on it, like off the get, um, because I like it. I like the song. It's got a nice flow. It's got a nice rhythm to it. But at the same time, anybody can sound good over Beethoven. And but I checked out some of his other stuff, and he checks out. He's okay, right? But that track sounds really good. And if you haven't seen him, you'll see him. He's kind of got like a. You'll probably notice that he's got an interesting stature and like a limp and different stuff like that. Um, and he does, and he talks about it. He's got like multiple health conditions. That kind of including scoliosis and stuff like that. That kind of um, he's also got the Tommy Pickles feet and stuff. Um, and so that's something that's part of who he is as an artist, and something that'll probably maybe stick out to you or whatever. But I like the song and stuff like that. Um, I'm not really too much of a fan of uh, at risking using the same word too often. I'm not too much of a fan of his persona. I think he comes off as a little bit arrogant and stuff like that. And you know, for my liking as a musician, but like I don't know, it doesn't really seem too congruent to me or whatever. Um, but I don't know why I'm here just like rashing on this dude. Um, I just wanted to talk about the song. Uh, it's not the first song that's over a Beethoven beat. I think Ken Dog did one as well, and it was really good and stuff like that. Um, the we're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot from an an indie creator on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that to the president, the president of the United States of the Americas. Um, is there's been speculation circulating within the past few days about the president's health. Um, he was seen, uh, in particular, he was seen, he had black and blue hands or hand, and he also had some really swelling ankles. And they said, and then he didn't do anything for multiple days in a row, which is very unlike him. And he says, or they say, his people, his administration, they say with the handshaking, it's I mean with the hand it's handshaking. He does a lot of it, and they say he takes standard regimen of painkillers for heart maintenance, and the combination of those two things, like he shakes a lot of hands. The combination of those two things is what causes the bruising, but the swelling in the ankles is always indicative of like poor blood circulation and stuff like that. And so that's kind of interesting. Um, and then Alex Jones has a theory that homeboy is croaking, and he says like 8 9 months you might not see no more Trumps. Um, Trump says, "Hey, I just came off of a 3 hour meeting. Like he held like a 3 hour thingy mabob, congressional meeting or whatever. um, it wasn't a congressional meeting at all. It was a cabinet meeting. But and then it was the long weekend, and he played some golf, and then he truthed. He sent out a social media claim saying he's never felt better. Um, so that's kind of where that stands. Something to kind of maybe keep an eye on, uh, wherever you stand. And then the next topic that we're going over is Raja Jackson and his thing that he did with Psycho Stu. Um, so originally, like you see the footage and like you're like, yeah, there's no excuse for that, and there's not no excuse for that. There's context. There's you know factors that led up to the incident, but there's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody's knocked out, they're knocked out. Like you don't get like that's one of the unwritten rules of life. Like, you don't keep hitting people that are knocked out. Like um, unless you try and kill them. Homeboy, luckily, homeboy didn't die. He was like barely like. I mean, he went unconscious. I don't know if he was concussed, but it's amazing like how much stronger his face is than that girl who was viral a few months ago, who's like a whole half of her face turned purple. I'm glad she's okay, by the way. Um, she looked dead. Um, but yeah, Psycho Stu is out of the hospital now, and could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. There was some crap that led up to the situation, and so far as I guess Raja had a concussion because of uh, some stunt they had pulled the day prior, um, and and a drunk Psycho Stu proceeded to smash a beer can on Raja's head, even with the concussion and whatnot. And I guess they said sorry or whatever and handshook. Uh, you know, the organizers promised Raja that he would get some payback, and but he went too far, and even Rampage said he went too far. Um, it's funny. Immediately after the incident, he posted about like how that's how standing up for yourself looks like, or paraphrasing along those lines. So it's like it wasn't like he thought he went too far immediately afterwards. I don't know how he feels now, how he feels today, but you know what I mean. And so the next thing that we're gonna talk about is um we're gonna talk about 31 Atlas, um 31 or 3 3i 3i Atlas, supposedly third interstellar third interstellar object that we've witnessed passing through our solar system, hence the name 3i. I don't know, don't quote me. And then it's 7 to 12 miles big, which is the biggest one we've ever seen with our eyeballs. And had I heard about it and I was like, all right, it's a rock. It's a meteor. It's a giant rock. And then they were talking about like, oh, but the trajectory. is gonna be going in between like all the planets or whatever. And and I'm like, all right, that's I don't know. I think I even heard that it was like so rare it's like impossible. But now I'm not seeing that no more. Um, because there was a guy AV Law who claimed it could be aliens, particularly with the trajectory it's taken a path where it's able to like bypass like every planet. Like every planet does its rotations and it's just like bobbing and weaving. Like it's just gonna well it's not moving. Like it's a straight trajectory, but it's gonna like it's just gonna miss them. Like this one's gonna pass and shit like that. It's gonna go like right by all of them. It'll be able. So a lot of people are like, oh, it looks. If you were an observer and you wanted to take a peek at all of these planets, that would be a perfect route. And and then um, but I'm not even seeing stuff like that anymore. Now it's kind of whitewashed where like yeah, I'm getting mad like PC-ish about it. Like, no, scientists agree it's nothing. Scientists say no aliens, no crazy stuff. And I don't know, are we even ready for aliens and shit? Are we ready for aliens, y'all? Do you think we're ready for aliens? I don't know. I I I, I want to say I don't think we're ready for aliens. But maybe they help us get our shit together. Maybe they're like, guys, you're so stupid. Let's help you get rid of all the stupid people that just want to kill each other because they're stupid. Let's get rid of all the people that are just essentially like what's the difference between somebody who does murder all the time and and a hyena? Like, what's the difference between somebody who lives to kill and a hyena? So you know, maybe the aliens will just get rid of everybody who has inclinations towards murder, and then and we'll be good. And that's wishful thinking, or maybe the aliens will come and just stop, bang, like stop fighting on us, just like shooting at us, just taking us out, just practicing their space guns, their space race, pew pew, just freaking. Ooh, this is fun. Like I don't know, maybe the aliens will do that, but Hawkins warned that it was a silly idea for Mr. Sagan to be sending all those time capsules into the universe. Into the but I don't know. I'm curious. I'm curious. Like what did Martians look like? Um, were there Martians? Were there Martians? What did they look like? Because now they're getting more and more evidence that like Mars was like a green planet, like Mars was like an Earth and stuff like that. And it's like maybe all of these, and this is a soft maybe, not a hard maybe. Like I don't believe this, but like maybe all of these planets were inhabitable, and they all did possess the attributes that astrology has given to them. Like maybe Mars really was the planet of war, and maybe um Venus was the planet of live and stuff like that. And that would be cool, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Um, you know what else? You know something I realized too. Something else. Let's talk about GPT, and I'm gonna bury the lead on this. I'm gonna bury the shit out of the lead on this because when I was drafting this, I um I started talking about GPT and then I remembered like the big stories about GPT. But like so let me start off just I think it seems like Chat GPT is getting worse. It seems like it's diminishing in its capabilities. Chat GPT 5, it started off with the issue that it wasn't as personable as GPT 4. It was a lot more robotic, and and it didn't seem, it never seemed way smarter, as far as I could tell. And then they brought back GPT 4, and that there's just something, there's something, the results are diminishing, the capabilities are diminishing. It's not, it's not improving, it's getting worse. And maybe it's expectations, but that doesn't seem so likely. Maybe it's lazy prompting. We think that the 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 better the AI gets, the worse we are able to be in regards to our prompting. Um, you know, um, some claim it's like high traffic. You can get various levels of sophistication uh, in your answers depending on time of day and like usage and stuff like that. Some claim, uh, and then others claim that AI, Open AI has actually scaled back some of the power and capability of GPT 5 or GPT, um, to save some money, um, is what they claim. And um, some say it's high traffic. I think I mentioned that. I did mention that. That was right before I mentioned the last thing. Um, one of the theories that I heard that I think would really suck balls is if they used us and the general population to train the AI, and now and once it finally got to a point where it was good, because it was really good. Like there was a time there about a year ago, or a little bit less than a year ago, where GPT was nice. Like it was really good at what it was doing. And it's not as good anymore. But like, so maybe they used us to train the GPT, and then once it got to a certain level, they gave us the crud version, the shell version, and now they have the good AIs. You know, Um, I'm not noticing much of an improvement out of AI in general now, across the board. And as a consumer, I mean, you can run your tests and your diagnostics and tell me how many PhDs each one of your models can get and stuff like that. But perception is oftentimes reality, especially when we're talking about consumers. Especially when we're talking about what people are going to pay for and what people are going to use and stuff like that. And so, after VO3 uh, took kind of like the next step forward in video generation, I haven't seen I haven't seen anything else. Like the agents came out, VO3 took a huge leap in video generation, and the LLMs were at an all-time high, and everything was seeming like it's going wild. And now a glass ceiling just appeared out of nowhere, and I don't know if that's a natural glass ceiling or if that's an artificial glass ceiling. Did they take the technology for themselves now, or is it just like not able to grow anymore? And or maybe it's a matter of, I think this theory, the previous theory, the one where they took it for themselves is more likely than the one I'm gonna lay out here. But some say that maybe it's garbage in, garbage out type of thing, where uh OpenAI was getting uh its data and its training from humans, and humans are stupid by and large. Um, um, and and so AI became stupid, and I don't know. I think its biggest issue is context and memory, and it just can't seem to keep context, and it can't seem to keep continuity. um and as far as like people being stupid, like I don't I don't mean it like we have some really smart people, you know like humans. Like, I like humanity. You guys know I like humanity. I'm not trying to like bash on humanity. I'm just like the general public is, and I'm not trying to separate myself from anybody either. Like, I'm a human myself too. Like, I'm not trying to say like anything like that, but um, you know, anyways. Um the larger issue the larger issue here, um the larger issue with the GPT thing is the 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 life endings and stuff. And I was gonna highlight one particular case that came up recently with a 16-year-old, but there's more than one. There's a handful that it's a phenomenon that's starting to trickle through. And Um, and it's unfortunate and it's scary. I said, like, I used to say AI is not a therapist, but it's a tool, and you could use it as a soundboard, and you could toss some ideas off of it, and and get some ideas back. And um, I used to think of it as a different form of journaling almost. Um, but and some people, and it's so tough. It's so tough. I'm gonna have to, make a dedicate some time to this topic, whether it's gonna be in an essay or or another episode or something like that. It's the double-edged sword uh when it comes to AI's impact on people in the mental health community. There are those who they don't have people around them, and they've never had people that they can confide in or trust or relate to or anything like that. And to them, to these people, but they're not crazy, right? Um, and to those people, this is like a grace. This is like a gift. This is like a reprieve. It's like water in a desert, uh, for them to have a semblance of a experience with communication and stuff. And these AIs, like, they're made to be personable, right? I mean, they're made to keep you engaged and stuff like that. And so so that now you're kind of swinging the pendulum back into like the scary parts or the bad parts of it. You know, I've seen it help. I've seen it help. Um, when it it can provide insights for you, and it can help you bring insights out of yourself, right? Um, but now, if we're gonna look at kind of the other side of the coin, if you are crazy-ish, it can reinforce delusions. You could get it on a pattern of agreeing. You could get it on a pattern where it's like saying yes to pretty much anything you say, and like you can kind of, if you talk to the AI the right way, you can get it to like do what you want, and and agree with what you want and stuff like that. And sometimes that works a lot less efficiently, when it comes to like AI will stop you on a lot of PC stuff. Like, on a lot of PC stuff, if you start trying to talk shit about the wrong people or whatever, like, it'll put you back in your place as far as that goes. And then there's other instances where AI also will correct you and stuff like that. But um at the end of the day, you can get it to just agree with you and shit like that, and that's difficult for people who are like schizophrenic. They're seeing like people in their room and shit like that, and they're telling the AI, "Yo, there's somebody in my room," and the AI is like, "All right, well, fucking shoot them," or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Well, um, or whatever. Like they could just start. I think I summed it up when I say confirming delusions. Um, and that can be dangerous, obviously. Um, so it's like any other tool, you know. It's it can be helpful or harmful in various contexts. I mean, I guess it's not like every other tool, but it is in that regard. Um, so what are they gonna do as far as I don't know. I know Chat GPT is. I think Chat GPT is gonna go ultra conservative. Not in the. It's weird to call it ultra conservative, but not in the conservative right. But wait, like they're gonna go ultra conservative, which and ultra PC simultaneously, if that even makes sense. But they're gonna reel it in, and you're gonna start seeing a lot more like, yo, can't talk about that, can't talk about that. They've already had a lot of can't talk about that in their thing. You know what I mean? And that's just gonna ramp up and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's a nice, not nice. Like people dying is bad. But that's a concept rich topic, right? That's an argument rich topic. Like there's a lot there. If you want to dive into not only the positive and negative effects of uh like chatbot AI or talking to AI like a chatbot, but more so how what that looks like in the mental health world. Um, one man's trash is another man's treasure and stuff like that. And it's that's where it's different than a lot of tools, I guess, because the potential for harm is so great, but the potential for reprieve is also very, very, very great. And so I'll leave it at that. In regards to AI, um, the second to last thing we're gonna talk is, I guess, so the Cowboys and the Eagles are playing against each other tomorrow. They're doing football. Um, One team's gonna try to score the touchdowns, and the other team is gonna try to score more than that team. And I think the Cowboys and the Eagles are gonna play each other. No, I'm just joking. Um, I didn't talk about the Micah Parsons thing, about like the whole contract saga. Um, he got traded to Green Bay race recently. He wanted an agent in the contract negotiations. Jerry Jones wanted his like back alley handshake to be worth it, or to be the totality of it. And I think Jerry Jones is a dick. But like I don't think Michael Parsons is it either. I don't think he's him. And so like I kind of say good riddance. And defensive tackles are awesome. We haven't The Dallas Cowboys hasn't had a good defensive tackle in 99 years. And yeah, and so we get a defensive tackle, two first round picks, and I agree with Skip. Like Michael Parsons didn't stop the run. He disappeared in the playoffs. Like take a D tackle, couple picks, and not have to pay Parsons $1 jillion at the same time. Yo, they gotta do something with these salary caps. They gotta do something with these salary caps. The league. I don't even care. The league. They need to do not just salary cap for a whole like position cap or something. Like each position is gonna actually. Why do I even? I don't even know why I care. But oh, so the Eagles, they're not gonna go out to see it's gonna be the banner presentation on Thursday, and the Eagles players they're not gonna be allowed to go out and view the banner presentation live on the field because their coach thinks it's best for them not to because they can't compartmentalize it's reliving the past and they're moved on to Dallas and it's like yo like it can give you like a juice. It can give you a spark, a reminder of who you are, and you're thinking about you're talking about moving on to Dallas, thinking about Dallas. Well, either Dallas is gonna be on the field, and you can see their disappointed faces when you're raising your own banner, or like I don't even I think that's stupid. Like that's so tragic. Like that's so messed up. Like that's fucked up if you ask me. Like that's as messed up as you can do a player. And like you're not letting the players be on the field for the freaking banner reveal. Like nah, that doesn't slide. Like I don't like that one bit. I don't like that one bit. And I think that's why the Eagles are gonna lose. So you're gonna demoralize them like that and shit like that. So I don't think they're gonna win. I think the Cowboys are gonna win. So and so that's the topics. That's the topics that I wanted to talk about. And um just to give you guys a quick update administratively or like an update as far as what's going on in the business world. I am currently repackaging. I repackaged my second book, um, the mental health and secular dating. Um, and I've put it. This is the old version, right? This is still available for uh a few more weeks, but this one's coming down. I got a new version available on Amazon now that has a way better cover. Um, and it's like an iOS system. I'm always it's like an app for an iOS. Like I'm always uh, refining it and redistributing it. But the version that's coming out should be final for a long time. And I am also doing the same for my third book and my second book. And I'm gonna do like an episode at some other time where it's just gonna be like all about my products and my business and stuff like that. But I am just letting y'all know that the repackaging of these books is happening, and then um just to lay the foundation, just to lay the seeds now. There is a project. There's a project. It's both on the horizon and in progress, and has been in progress. I've been working on a project now for about a year, and it is going to it's gonna equal everything I've done combined in its depth and complexity and awesomeness. It's gonna be one of the cool. It's gonna be the one of the coolest things, if not the coolest thing that I've ever brought to the table as far as product. And so I'm working on uh, trademarks, and once I get that trademark process done, I'm gonna start unveiling, and and I think it's gonna be great. I've been doing artistic philosophy for 5 years now, and that angle, and that's not gonna go anywhere moving forward. But I did find something that I can intertwine it with, something that is going to be able to both run parallel and merge with um, simultaneously. And yeah, I can't say much about it obviously at this time, but it's just stay tuned. I will continuously drop some hints and some reminders, but there is something on the horizon in regards to the Equides brand, and it's gonna be worth it for everybody. It's gonna be my calling. Um, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Um, with that being said, y'all, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go create a little bit more and stuff like that, and tend to this stupid flu. And yeah, I'm glad you guys can make it. I consider this my Michael Jordan game, where I came and I played my Michael Jordan flu game, where I came and I played sick. But no, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I've been worse and stuff like that. But thank you guys for existing, and then for clicking on the video that has me and my stuff, and then listening to it, with your ears and stuff like that. and we'll do it again next week. Um, it'll be same time, same channel, and goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. Ha ha.